Hello, my name is Uniuse, and today I'm going to do a short video on the new card that came out, which is the Goblin Gang. Funnily enough, I've actually recorded this video twice already, but both times the file got corrupted, so I'm recording it again. So what I've said basically is that Goblin Gang is a good card. There's no doubt about it. It's not one of those cards that needs a terrible amount of skill to master. For example, the Dark Goblin, when it came out, people were kind of excited about it, but after that, it doesn't really have much oomph. But the Goblin Gang, I've played around with it a little bit, and it's interesting to play with. I've won a few games with it, but the overall feeling is that it's not an aggressive card or an offensive card. The best way to use it is to use it on defense, because you can get very good trades by defending with it. This is very much competition to the Skeleton Army. They're both very similar in that they both cost 3 elixir and they can both dish out decent DPS. Well, saying that the Skeleton Army on paper has 2 times as much damage as the Goblin Gang. But the Goblin Gang has the advantage of having both melee and ranged attacks. So, if someone sends a Valkyrie in, you can actually defeat it with the Goblin Gang. Even though goblins instantly die to one swing of the Valkyrie, because the goblins get staggered, because you have stab goblins that rush toward the Valkyrie, it swings once, and maybe hits 1 or 2 of the goblins. Meanwhile, the tower and the spear goblins, which are ranged units, start attacking the Valkyrie. So actually, it ends up being a positive elixir trade on defense. And most people will say, oh, well, this is, like another Zap Bait deck card, right? Not really. This doesn't really fit into Zap Bait deck playstyle, because in Zap Bait decks, being a big Zap Bait deck player myself, I've played it for a long time, you want to be aggressive, and Goblin Gang is not an aggressive card. And even if you do manage to get it to the tower, you take 1,000 damage off the tower, and after that, that's it. You can actually get away with leaving it and just starting up a huge push. Whereas if you go in for a Goblin Barrel, Ice Spirit combination, you can almost kill the entire tower. And it's not something that you want to ignore. Because for 4 elixir, doing over 2,000 damage to a tower is devastating. Which is why I think that this is going to fit into more heavier decks, where you want to take cheap cards that can take out tank killers like P.E.K.K.A, Mini P.E.K.K.A, Inferno Tower, that are also pretty good against splash units. All around, the Goblin Gang is a pretty good card. Unfortunately, what this does is that stab goblins and spear goblins will just get totally pushed out. Because if you're gonna take spear goblins or goblins, 90% of the time, you gain more from spending 1 extra elixir, and then having that extra damage and the ability to take down splash units on defense. On offense, you can set a Valkyrie down and it'll swipe down the entire Goblin Gang. But it does well against Dark Prince, regular Prince. It's mostly weak against spells, but that is actually okay. Like, this just makes Log better, and Log more meta, because there's one more thing that it can counter, but that's okay. I mean, I don't mind. Thankfully, Log isn't one of those cards that is super OP, and kind of like how Graveyard was when it came out, that no one knew how to properly counter it, and it also, there were some cards that weren't quite in the game yet, like Dark Goblin. Then came out and that was pretty good against Graveyard, and Executioner is pretty good against Graveyard. As well as the fact that people started learning how to counter it, and so on and so forth. So, Goblin Gang is all around, it's an okay card. It's not OP, but it's not bad either, thankfully. You can definitely win games with it, but it's not a game changer. It's not a win condition, and you don't want to base your deck around the Goblin Gang. You could almost say it's almost a different variation of Archers and Skeleton Army put together because of the range. So cards that this will pair well with would probably be Hog Rider, because if you can, I'm actually really curious if you could do a hog push, a pig push with the Hog Rider. I'll try that, and I'll put that in the description if that actually works. But I think it'll pair decently with big heavy decks. Maybe it'll pair well with Giant. I could see it doing pretty well with Lava Hound, actually, because the Spear Goblins will help take care of stuff like minions, and the Goblin Gang, or the Stab Goblins, will help take care of any ground units. And it's also one more thing that you have to actually focus on, which can be pretty annoying. But yeah, I think that's it for me. I think it's an okay card. I don't think it'll change the meta drastically, but if you guys have any thoughts, please leave them in the comments. I'm gonna link Orange Juice's video in the description below. If you guys don't know Orange Juice, he's a big Clash Royale YouTuber. He puts out really detailed content about new cards and really big interactions. So I'll leave his video about the Goblin Gang down, so you guys can see all of the different interactions that the Goblin Gang has with most cards. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time.